Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me today for the Fitchburg Historical Society, you got Catherine Snyder back on the show. Catherine, welcome back to TF. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Jeremy. Always good to be with you.
Yeah, well, you've been running the show lately. I haven't had a chance to talk with you really. I mean, once you interviewed me, you became a star. So, you know, you don't need me anymore to do what you do here. You've been doing a great job. And today we're going to focus on kind of giving you a quick update what's happening at the Historical Society, and we will talk about Catherine's project here on talking about COVID and how it's affected different realms of businesses and people alike here. So we'll talk about that. But first and foremost, you got a big event coming up here. It's still in the works, still got some stuff to work on, but we want to make sure to get the date on everybody's calendar and tell them how this is all going to work. So Catherine, what do you got coming up here?
Oh, we're so excited because we've been waiting over a year to offer our program. We were going to do it in last spring of 2020, and of course, we all know what happened with COVID. So we needed to rescheduled a couple of times actually, and our speaker was so great to be waiting in the wings and said, "Well, whenever you're ready." So with COVID this past year, we've had to delay and delay. However, we decided as a board to be very brave and go into this new world of Zoom technology, thanks to Fact TV being our partner and helping us with that. We are going to be offering our spring program on Sunday, April 25th at 1:30 in the afternoon. And registration will be done for our program via Zoom registration, and that will be done through the Fitchburg Historical Society website. So going to our website, fitchburghistory.org, the registration form will be available there. Very simple, just with your name and your email address. And then once you register, your Zoom link for the program will be available. So you can join us from wherever you are in the world for that program. And the program is, I think, one that will be very interesting because it's from an art perspective. We have invited Melanie Herzog from the Art History Department at Edgewood College to speak on Ida Wyman, who was a world acclaimed photographer who resided in Fitchburg the last years of her life. So we can claim her as a Fitchburg resident. And she's just, her photography is absolutely stunning. Her photography is well known for taking pictures of everyday scenes of people, particularly uh, where she did her work in the 1940s and 50s in New York City. So her scenes of everyday life in New York City are stunning to see. So that's what she's most noted for. Although she worked for Life magazine, Look magazine, which were publications that were widely read culturally in the United States, huge cultural influence here. So that's going to be our program, and we are just so excited about it to offer it to the whole community of Fitchburg, or wherever, as I said, wherever people are located, they can register and join us on Zoom.
Yeah, it's
So
gonna be fun. I did not know that she resided here in Fitchburg, so there's the twist for you, if you will. And we're actually going to have a further discussion about this with one of your cohorts there at the Fitchburg Historical Society. Adrian will be joining us. We'll have a little bit more discussions as this event gets closer, but we're working on it. We're glad to partner with. We've been partner with you on broadcasting these out, recording them and rebroadcasting them. They've always been great. You've had some great guests along the lines, and this will be another a great addition to the great list of special guests.
thank you. Yes, we are extremely excited about Melanie coming with us, Professor Herzog, because she knew Ida, and in fact did some cooperative work with her on a book together. And then Adrian Imikalski from our board also knew Ida, and we're hoping that she can talk with you further another time about Ida and her experiences with Ida.
Ooh, very excited for that. So stay tuned. We'll keep you posted when that one comes up. Overall, so the Historical Society, we've kind of been doing, when we've been doing interviews this month, we kind of hit the 1 year mark, if you will, of the shutdown and everything. From your perspective at the Historical Society, unfortunately, with the library being closed, people haven't had access directly to the displays in the historical societies area in the library, but the access online has been awesome. And maybe a quick update, Catherine, on the website for somebody who hasn't been out there. What do you have available?
Sure. Well, there's just so much. The Fitchburg historical site is really just packed with so many different areas to research and just explore about Fitchburg history. One of the latest additions was put on just a few, maybe a few weeks ago or a month ago, about the bike trails in Fitchburg and how they came about. So that might be something people would be interested in, newly put on. And then, as you indicated, Jeremy, the interviews we've been doing monthly that have focused on how Fitchburg's been impacted by COVID are also posted on the Fitchburg Historical site. So we've done interviews with the business community. Well, we will be actually coming up. We're going to visit with Angela Kitterman from the Chamber and Visitors Bureau about, what's been happening with the businesses in Fitchburg during this long year of pandemic, how they adapted and how they've been faring. And then we did an interview with Pete Gunderson at Gunderson Funeral Services about their business and what changes they needed to make there. And Mayor Richardson talked about government. Again, what's the impact there for COVID? And then the elections last year, what that was a very interesting story to
That's
hear
its
about.
own story. You
Yeah.
throw COVID on a crazy election season. It's that one was a very interesting one to hear from the an election inspector there.
Yes, and I think we're hoping that these stories that we're preserving historically will be able to be a record of Fitchburg walking through this year of COVID. And people will look back on and say, how did they do that? What was involved? What did people have to do? How did they survive that year that is so close to us now that we're living through it? But if you think about it, our children, our grandchildren, will wonder what it was like, and we'll hopefully have that preserved for them to look back on.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that. I've got a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old that, at this time, they have no clue what has happened, and they'll hopefully have lived through it as well as all of us to tell the story, and I think it's a great idea that you had for doing those interviews, and looking forward for you to continue to do more of those. Real quick, Catherine, anything else you wanted to touch on before we have to go?
Oh, I'll just mention the Fitchburg Historical Society website once more so people can access that. So it's fitchburghistory.org. And please avail yourself of the opportunity to see what's there. And then, particularly for our program coming up after April 1st, the registration for our program on April 25th on Ida Wyman will be available. So we'd love to welcome all of the community to join us for that program.
Yeah, it will be a good one indeed, and looking forward to your next interview with Angela coming up as well. Catherine, thank you so much for jumping on, and I appreciate your time as always, and we'll talk to you real soon.
Always a pleasure, Jeremy. Thank you so much.
You betcha. All right, I'll take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg. We got a you betcha in there too.